Hi guys, it's Kirby. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be trying the NYX Butter Bronzers, Buttermelt Bronzer and Buttermelt Blush. The Buttermelt Blush is not in my Ulta yet, and it's not in like Target or anything like that, so I ordered mine online. I know they have like an end cap that's like bringing them, but they still aren't there yet, and they've been out for a minute, and the Buttermelt Bronzers have been out for a good long while. And honestly, seeing everybody use them online has had me feeling like FOMO. Like, they look so nice, but then I swatched them in stores and was like, do I like that formula? Do I not like that formula? So we're trying them out today. So for some of you, this might not be new. For me, it is new. I've been trying a whole bunch of new makeup recently, and today the complexion is not complexioning. Rather, the under eyes are not being concealed. And that's frustrating. I was trying the new Estee Lauder Futurist Soft Touch Brightening Concealer. It's not concealing the way I thought it would conceal. Let's put it that way. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I do want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. So let's just get into the blush and bronzer of it all. I already have my face done, or like my base done. I did a tinted moisturizer, foundation, concealer. I set that with powder, did my eyebrows and eyes with a little bit of mascara and like a lippy, but like nothing else. I didn't do any cream bronzers or cream blushes or any of that jazz. And again, my face is set with powder. So that's how we're starting this. I say all that because like powder products especially can like work very differently on an unset base versus a set base. Just putting that out there. I got two different of the bronzers. I got the BMB 01, which is Buttercup, and then I also got the BMB 03, which is Deserve Butter. I didn't get the 02 because the 02 looked extremely warm. The 01 is a light neutral, which is that, and then the 03 is a light medium neutral. So this would obviously be for like fair tones. This would be for like light to medium skin tones. They only have, how many shades do they have? They have 8 shades ranging from light neutral to deep, rich, warm neutral. And the deep online looks pretty deep. Like the darkest shade looks pretty deep, but I'm not sure in person because again, my Ulta like didn't have all of the shades to swatch, and so it's really a crapshoot in terms of trying to find your actual perfect match. But they do offer 8 shades. Again, the 02 was a little warm for me, so on lighter days I wanted to get the 01, and for like a little bit of like a deeper day I wanted to get the 03. They have a bit of a satin finish in the actual pan. In the actual pan, they look rather shimmery. They do look rather like glowy, but when you actually swatch them, they don't really actually have that much of a sheen to them. So I'm gonna call them a satin finish or like a satin natural finish, because even on the finger they look pretty shiny. But then on the skin, or at least what I've seen on the skin, they look really like skin-like. So they're not, I'm gonna call them a satin natural finish or a natural satin finish. I don't know if that's actually correct. They are $10 each for, they're $10 each for 0.17 ounces or 5 grams. They have really nice packaging, no mirror, but they're in a nice sturdy plastic packaging. Same with the Buttermelt Blush. It is 0.170 ounces or 5 grams, and they do retail for $10 as well. Let's start with the bronzer, and I think just for the purposes of the video so it'll show up a little bit better, I'm gonna use the BMB 03 Deserve Butter, which is the, or Butter, which is the light medium neutral. I think I'm going to use on Morphe R14, which is just this little like fluffy domed complexion brush. Picks up the product really well. Oh, okay. They smell really good. They smell kind of like cocoa butter, which, like, obviously. So the 03 is definitely like a lot for my skin whenever I don't have like my summer tan. Do I think that like in the summer that this will probably be a very good match for me? Yes. Are we in summer yet? No, we're just starting out. So I do think that it is a little extreme right now, the 03. The 01 or the 02 would be a lot better on an everyday basis, but again, I kind of wanted for the video because I don't know how well colors pick up on my actual monitor. But for every day, the 01 is going to be great. But again, for like summer or like a really, really sun-kissed glow, I could get away with the 03, or even using a fluffier brush than this R14 would probably be a little bit better when I'm using the darker shade. But it doesn't look bad by any means. Like, it blended really, really nicely. And it does look very like skin-like. It doesn't look very powdery. Like, it does have that, when it says like buttermelt, it really does have that kind of like buttermelt feel to it. And by buttermelt feel, I mean like it kind of like melts into the skin and with the other products, if that makes sense. I do wish it was a little bit more neutral. I know it's a bronzer, but I do wish it was like a little bit more neutral than what it is, because it is reading a little bit like warm on my skin. Again, not like a terrible thing. I just wish it was like, it says neutral. I wish it was like almost like contour neutral, if that makes sense. I think that it would be like such a beautiful formula for like contour neutral. So now we're going to go into the blush, and I am going to use a fluffier brush for the blush. I'm going to use this Morphe R4, which is like a fluffy angled brush. And I got the shade Butter Together, which is the BMBL02. How many shades do they have in their blush? They have 12 shades in their blush, and I do know that some of those are a shimmer shade. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of the blushes have shimmer in them. They're not just like that satin, natural satin finish. 4 of them do have actual shimmer in them. Which I don't know. I'm not like the biggest fan of like a shimmer blush, but I definitely understand why people do enjoy it, especially again for like summer, special events, those types of things. But yeah. 12 shades, 4 of them are shimmer, so 8 of them are not. And I got this like light pink, which is Butter Together 02. It's called Soft Pink. So let's see what it's about. That is very soft, but I do like it a lot. Yeah, it's giving like very satin feel, like very, it's glowy without being glittery or shimmery. And I say that because if you're a matte girly, like if you are someone who likes matte, you probably won't like how these are finished, because they do give a little bit of like glow to the skin. And for people who like that like no makeup look, or like that fresh faced makeup look, these are going to be everything. You can build up the color really, really well. I know I went pretty heavy with it because I want the color to show up, but also I like a strong cheek. If you've been around here for a moment, you know I'm not afraid of blush. I'd be like putting it everywhere. But it does like melt really, really nicely into the skin. Like the bronzers and the blushes melt together. With it being a powder, they're melting together so nicely. Like almost foolproof. you know, if you're like new to makeup or if you're looking for something that's like not going to be too cakey on the skin, the formula of these are really, really great. Yeah, they have mango seed butter in them, sweet almond oil, shea butter. They do, the first ingredient in the blush is mica. Same with the bronzer. So they do have mica in them. That's what's giving that kind of like shimmer, that kind of satin look, is that mica. And it must be super finely milled because, again, products with mica usually do look very like shimmery and glittery, but this doesn't look shimmery, it looks glowy. So like, I don't know how finely milled that mica is in there, but yeah, the first ingredient is mica. But again, you got the mango seed butter, the shea butters. In the bronzer, you have the sunflower seed oil, you have the almond oil in both of them. So they are just really like buttery and melting into the skin. And for a powder, like, it almost acts like a cream, which is crazy to say, but like, it almost acts like a cream, but they're powders. You guys, highly, highly recommend these. They are really, really nice. They smell really great. For $10, I have a feeling that they're going to last a very long time. They pick up on the brush really, really well. You know what these kind of remind me of is like an updated Physicians Formula butter bronzer. You know, like that's been around for quite some time and I haven't repurchased that in a while. But these remind me a lot of those Physician Formula butter bronzers. Again, they smell great, they pick up nicely, they just look skin-like. They give you that glow without being shimmery or without being glittery, like lit from within. Like what everybody wants to look like. Highly, highly recommend. I will link these down in the description box below, so if you're interested to check them out, you can. Like I said, I could not find all of the shades of the butter bronzers in my Ulta. They did not even have the blushes in stock yet. And I couldn't find them at Target either. That's usually where I find a big stock of NYX as well as Target, and I couldn't find them in my Target either. So if you found them in store, please leave a comment about where you found them, or like where there's a supply of them that we can purchase them in store. I know not everybody likes to shop online, but yeah, so I will link them again. Really, really like them. Can't wait to continue to use these over the summer, maybe without foundation, to see how they kind of wear on the skin. With all those butters in them, I'm sure that they would look gorgeous. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, give it a big old thumbs up. As always, please be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys.